Hello everyone, welcome to the Charlotte Roar Open. This is a 2024 edition. I have Matt Bell in the house, in the booth for the first time ever with GMT. How you doing?
Surprise, surprise, here I am. Here at the Greatest Media Team headquarters, ready for some action today.
It's awesome to have you here, and you know some of these players, so it's going to be really exciting to see this feature card. We have a really exciting one. Let's thank our sponsors first, Scrub City, Disc Golf 978, and of course, Greatest Media Team, producing and bringing a lot of this production for you guys. This is a year later now. This is the second edition. We have featuring Alex Ziros, who's the 2023 Charlotte Roar champion. He's defending champion here. And we have Paul Ulibarri, who is an absolute stud out there, and of course representing Discraft. Clay Edwards, who's representing Kastaplast, and the two-time Charity Classic winner, Nathan Johnson. What a stacked crew that is.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see Alex Ziros play. He's the only one I'm not familiar with, but clearly he has all the shots it takes on this course to win it.
He surely does. He shot -6 last year, the first round, and then like a -6 again, second round at Angry Beaver Longs. We're actually going to be playing the shorts here due to weather and time constraints and things like that. You can see Paul getting a really nasty kick.
Yeah, he went for a backhand, tried to hyzer flip something, and it started out a little left and stayed in that left tree line and got kicked down. Alex Ziros getting a nice turnover on it and getting through the right side tree line to back to fairway.
He got a little bit of a good tree love there. Meanwhile, Paul Ulibarri's nuke did not get any tree love, unfortunately.
No. Well, we see Clay Edwards throw a great shot. He didn't even get it turned over, but it was still pushing forward the whole way and kept him in the fairway.
Super smooth player, Clay Edwards, representing Kastaplast in another round. And he was on the skins match, so if you want to go check that out, make sure to check it out on our channel.
Oh, man, a beautiful shot from Nate Johnson. He actually got it to turn over about 4 to 6 feet, it looked like, and landed nicely just on the left side of the fairway.
One of the best shots I've seen, actually, on this hole.
Ooh, a little outside on the backhand turnover for Ziros. Looking at a par now, most likely for him.
He was in a really good spot, too. It's tough to see him not get that up and down. This is a tough hole. And look at Ulibarri pulling the forehand roller.
2-finger forehand roller from Ulibarri.
Oh,
looks like it was tracking
goodness.
towards the basket. I think he's going to have a look.
That was insane.
Scramble from the right side of the fairway.
And he's blabbing about it with his friends over there. You can see.
Yeah. That'll get you feeling good, especially when it's, damp and rain. You want to get a good shot in there, hopefully on the first hole, which Clay Edwards, we just saw him do. He threw a textbook little hyzer sidearm into the green. Looks like he's going to have a tap in for a birdie as Nate Johnson and Alex Ziros clean up for par. Make me eat my words.
That is why he's the defending
Ziros
champion, folks. Oh,
goes off the cage from over 100.
He's no joke, Matt. He's no joke.
That was beautiful effort. And what a beautiful testament to his putt. Just squares the left side of the chains, and it looked like a no-doubter the way it fell in there.
Beautiful putt. He gets the birdie from that right side after that kick. How does that happen?
At one of the harder distances. He was right there at circle's edge.
Clay Edwards also getting the birdie. Let's not forget that there. That was a really good 3 for him. So that hole averaged 3.9. Kind of what you expect. Kind of a good first hole, though, from the shorts. Nathan Johnson was shooting the passion off the tee there. That was the best drive of the group there. That was a really good drive.
Wow. Paige Pierce passion?
Yeah, he can flip those really nicely.
Great effort from Nathan Johnson as he cleaned up his par there. He was just off that right side lip on his birdie attempt. Hopefully you can get him going here. As Yuli here on hole 2 throws a stock sidearm. It looks like he tried to give it maybe a baby flex to get it pushed forward enough.
That's exactly what he was going for, that baby flex with his nuke.
As we see Clay going the right side gap with a stock hyzer. Looks like he's throwing about 325 maybe to get to position.
He couldn't pull it off during the skins match, but it looks like he pulled that one really cleanly.
It looked perfect.
It looked, let's see, it's probably 45 feet.
And this is Alex Ziros with a sidearm trying to follow Uli's line, and it's just a bit inside the whole way. Kicks down, he's going to have to scramble.
He was really relying on that stability there, and it was almost too stable for him, I think.
Yeah. Nathan Johnson go with what looked like his bread and butter pyro there with the sidearm off the tee.
Yeah, that was a great shot.
Beautiful shot from Alex Ziros. He's got a birdie look.
Come on, Uli, start us off here.
Uli for...
Imagine he made those back-to-back. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he had a longer bid there. He laid it down. He's going to take a par with no consequence.
So this hole averaged 2.86. There's a lot of birdies.
Wow, yeah.
22 NPO players.
We see Nate Johnson. That was his second shot, right?
Yeah, that was his second shot.
So it looked like he played it pretty wide, but he still had a 38-footer.
Mm-hmm. And here's Clay for his birdie. Let's see if he can get that. He needs to start off hot. This is a stack crew. What a putt. Let's go.
Very nice. Uphill from about 26 feet, maybe.
I give him maybe 31 almost. That's a lot of float time. That's what I like to call it.
He delivers a very nice putt there.
Mm-hmm. And it hit the chains in a great spot. And it fell right down.
So it's more about hitting the gap on this hole. It's not necessarily hour to get a look at it, at least.
And that's a good mention because you've never played this course. You played the shorter course so far, the Angry Beaver course.
I have.
But this Angry Beaver is no joke. But at least this is the shorter version of Angry Beaver. There's a long version too, which is last year we got to play. This year we're going to stick to the short version. But still a really tough track in terms of technical lines, lots of woods.
And it looks like it's still coming down here with the rain.
Yeah, I never really gave up on that first round, unfortunately. It was tough to deal with.
Wow. And here we are on hole 3. It looks like we got an OB line in the creek there.
Mm-hmm. Super tough.
And how big would you say that gap is? About halfway to the basket.
Well, if you ask Uli, he says 7 feet, but
looks more like it looks more like 12 feet, maybe at the most.
I would give it like 15 because you have to consider the height. If you go higher, it opens up.
Where you're
feet.
supposed to throw it is 15 feet.
Yeah.
I can see that as Paul does that beautifully with the backhand there.
Yeah, that was a really good shot there.
Alex Ziros also lining up a backhand. This looks perfect.
Oh, butter.
Absolutely perfect.
He owns that.
Yeah, a little drift, 8 feet to the right.
I didn't expect this from Nathan.
It's his comfortable shot up. It's a hybrid disc between a mid-range and a fairway driver.
Mm-hmm. So you want to take a guess on what this averaged?
Oh, if the last one was 2.8, I would put this one at a 2.6.
Wow, right on the money, Matt. 2.57.
Wow.
Great call out.
There we go.
Yeah, you know your game. Come on, let's see if the Circle 1 Master can continue his streak. Oh, right side pocket.
All the way wrapped around the chains and came in the cage on the back side opposite from him. That was incredible.
Love it. You love to see it.
You got to have some touch to be able to do that.
And I don't think the camera really shows that. One tree was in his way. He had to kind of flex it, I think.
That was nice right side putt. And as we saw, Nathan Johnson came up a little short on his look. And Uli makes that one. I think we might see a couple more.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Sneak it in there, Ziros. Let's go.
As he cleans it up with a little extra banter, it looks like.
Uh-huh, maybe.
Putters go in the basket here for birdie.
Absolutely. That's a really good birdie to get on the field there. He doesn't mind it. Alex is a really great guy, and he's very well known in the Charlotte community.
Very nice. I do know they're very personable here in North Carolina. They like to chat it up amongst the cards and
especially if you
keep
know
it
them.
lively.
Yeah, especially if you know each other.
Not too many stiffs down here.
62% birdies, Matt. So you got the 2 or you got the 4, it basically sounds like. All right, well, here's hole 4, downhill 304 feet, and it's a good hole, but there's a lot of danger with the OB Creek.
Clay Edwards, it looked like going with the straightest sidearm possible and maybe get a little flare skip towards the basket. Looks like they're playing it off the Tennessee ice here, trying to get it on the ground and have it slide forward.
Oh, the Raptor shot for Uli just doesn't work there. And I believe Clay was throwing his Svay. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Kind of cool disc.
He pulls it a little left for Uli as Alex to the right once again and finds the out of bounds, it looks like.
Yeah, that creek comes up fast on this hole. And
Nathan attempts the flip up with the sidearm, and it just stayed straight for him right into the tree he was trying to break it off of, and it looks like it kicked him left out of bounds.
He was throwing his zone there. And Uli with this awesome approach shot. Look at that touch.
He's loving life now. He took the sidearm and broke it over. Perfect at the basket. He's going to get
perfect. Look at that, too.
up and down for par while Nathan has to punch straight at it, and he does it textbook.
So this is actually one of the hardest holes of the day, Matt, averaging 3.14. With the OB, I'm sure you can see why.
Well, with this feature card, we just saw Alex Ziros get up and down no problem from the line. And Clay Edwards, the only one with a birdie attempt. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect there, but it's short enough they had no problem cleaning it up. Unfortunately, the guys that went OB are now taking a bogey stroke, it looks like. That's the big swing on this hole.
It's a separator hole, which I like. I like downhill holes that you have to really have controlled shots.
Yeah.
Some people could throw a putter on this one.
And on this big par 4, hole 5 at 509 feet.
Oh my gosh, that was money.
Ulibarri opts for the sidearm as we have a severe dog leg, it looks like, left to right on this hole.
Hardest hole.
And Ulibarri puts it right in the money spot, gets a skip just past the corner, and continue on to the right.
Yeah, he only has played this course a few times in terms of the shorts. He always plays longs.
There's a nice momentum shot for Alex Ziros as he's able to control a sidearm around the corner as well and put himself in good position. Unfortunately, Clay Edwards pulled it left, hit a tree. He kicked early right, which is probably the worst place to be on this hole.
Really, really bad kick, and you hate to see that after starting with the turkey.
Yeah.
You know?
Dream start, and he's able to scramble to get himself back into the game. Meanwhile, we saw Nathan Johnson, last on the card, throw a perfect little sidearm up there.
Yeah.
But he gave it a chance, and it came back for him.
One thing we didn't show was that Clay Edwards missed a very short putt, actually. So he's actually -2 after starting that turkey. So the momentum shifted a little bit. Let's see if he can get it up and down. Oh my gosh, get in.
Wow. Clay Edwards almost throws it in after Nathan Johnson shows them the way, and they lay up from a similar spot. Hopefully they can both get up and down now.
Patent pending Annie. Oh my
Stand still from Uli on his second shot on this 509-foot par 4.
That was his second shot. So he has a birdie.
Beautiful turnover.
One of the best I've seen. He said he doesn't like that shot a lot. He doesn't like to throw that.
As we see a force over sidearm from Alex Ziros there on his second. Unfortunately, he caught a tree there on the left side.
Come on, come on.
And he's trying to connect from about 80 feet, it looks like, off the band.
He's
Dead
on it.
center.
He is on target. Great feature card so far, and let's see if Nate can keep it rolling.
Looks like he might have
He tried,
pulled
Mom.
it to the right a little.
He tried for his mom. Love that. See if Uli, my goodness, can he make
have to
another
settle
one?
for a par.
That's his birdie.
Oh yeah, he just
That was owned. That hole was too easy for Ulibarri.
an absolute set down from about 27 feet. Just perfect little downhill putt.
There was only 3 birdies on that hole, and he was one of them.
I love seeing those little downhill runners.
Patent pending flex shot saved him there. That was awesome. Yes.
And then you mentioned that Clay had missed a short putt, as we see him miss not a gimme. It was a 20 footer maybe.
Yeah, you hate to see back to back. I wonder if it got in his head a little bit after missing that shorty. Sometimes it happens.
It might have. I imagine he'll clean it up though here shortly.
Hole 6, throwing the Manta. Let's see. Ooh, that was gonna bend.
Yeah, we saw Paul go with the backhand there versus the sidearm. It does look like you want to have it push towards the basket at the back, and a sidearm might not do it as well as a backhand. Alex Ziros attempted the sidearm, but it did finish early right. Nathan Johnson, who has a great sidearm, is throwing the backhand here. That might tell you something. I think the angle's a little better for it.
It is. The tee pad's a little strangely off.
If you can get it turned over like he did, but not flip it over and have it fight back, it's going to be perfect. He kept turning it. He's going to have a nice birdie look, though.
Yeah, I think that was his passion again. Clay loves these turning shots. I think that is his lots, maybe, something like that. Right.
Yeah, and you could see the difference between his shot and Nathan's. As soon as Clay's shot turned the corner on that right-handed backhand, it started fighting left out of the flight towards the pin. So
stabbed in the eye with that branch. This hole plays longer than 320. It plays like 350 with the way that it flexes back and everything. Oof, come on, Clay.
Looks like Nathan and Clay are both going to settle for pars after those beautiful approach shots.
And just a little off, Ziros won't be able to get the birdie either.
No, and you hate to see it on a hole like this after throwing such a beautiful drive. It's definitely one of those putts you feel like you kind of have to make after throwing a shot that good.
It's sneaky long though. It's you think that they were going to be parred with those beautiful shots.
Yeah, normally you'd be happy with a par like that, but when the hole's that good and you execute it.
So that hole averaged 2.95, 19% birdies, 70% pars, so a lot of pars.
I would say it still looks like a really good par 3.
It is. It's just the angle's a little strange. And once you get over that angle, you find the disc that does the right thing. Great hole.
Yeah. I think it's because you can't stretch that sidearm quite all the way there. It makes it that much tougher for everybody to try and birdie it.
Now, speaking of a really good hole, hole 7, dead straight, 330 feet.
Ulibarri attempt a hyzer flip, and it looks like he drifted at about 15 feet right of the pin, maybe caught a tree.
Yeah, I think he's a little more right than 15 feet. And look at this shot by Ziros, floating right down there.
Yeah, it looks like these guys are throwing mid-ranges at it maybe. And he threw a hyzer flip laser beam straight at it.
And speaking of laser beam, look at this rock shot by Nathan Johnson. Beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's act like I was trying to throw the flex line down there. Yeah. Just like I drew it up.
Tutorial rock shot right down the pipe. Beautiful.
You might say that he wasn't aiming for that left to right gap, but it worked. That was a beautiful shot.
I'd give it to him on that one.
I would too. We always tell people, don't tell people if you weren't intending it. I do love it that he's a very honest player.
Generally, if you're aiming at the basket, good things can happen through the woods.
Have faith, right?
Absolutely. We see Clay Edwards trying to follow that beautiful shot. He didn't get that last part of the barrel roll quite right at the very end, and it stayed on the left side and caught a tree. So he's going to settle for a par. As we see Uli from 45
First miss of the day. Wow.
Came up a little short on this elevated pin. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, the elevated pin definitely brings a different aspect to this one. It averaged with 24% birdies and 43% pars.
No problem for Alex Ziros as he makes that one. And no doubt he birdied that one on his way to winning last year.
He was licking his chops going up to that hole. Nice putt by Nathan there. Nice birdie. He got the birdie, folks. His first
He's
birdie.
on the board.
Let's go, Nate. You got a little crew right over here for you.
We're
clapping for you. Yep.
Oh, yeah. And one thing I always like to focus on these uphill putts or elevated putts is you're exposing it a little higher in the air, a little more nose up. It's going to create a little bit more overstability. So you can rely on that overstability to hold the line for you.
Interesting tip. I never noticed how the stability will hold it a little longer. Yeah.
So instead of trying to fight that stability, use it to your advantage. Maybe play it just a hair wider.
Yep. Let it swing.
And let it swing.
Let it swing. This is a great hole. I love seeing holes like this. In hole 8, we're going to get a catch cam angle here. This is going to be a dog leg to the right, 505 feet. This is one of the biggest shots of the day that you'll see on this bonus preview coverage of the first 12 holes here.
Absolutely. And what's great about all these guys, they all have the sidearm backhand combo. It looks like they're just choosing the highest percentage shot for the holes.
So good. Look at this destroyer shot by Alex. I mean, money, perfect spot too.
Absolutely. We're watching all these guys pick high-speed discs and throw pretty stock sidearm shots that are about 325 minimum. So pretty good stuff to be able to control that with a high-speed disc through the woods like these guys are doing.
And speaking of stock, that was a really good stock forehand by Ulibarri there. Come on, Nate. Ooh, going a little deep.
Showing how easy it is to miss the gap if you juice it. It just brings that aspect of control into the equation when you're throwing these high-speed drivers.
He was throwing his dynasty there. Just got a lot. Oh, and I think Clay's about to go a little long too here. Yep.
Absolutely. Clay's, a victim of the Pro Tour. He's ready to throw everything too far.
But that is a good point. Where these like touchier landing spots where they're a little bit shorter than that average 350 throw, which you see on the tour, it kind of messes with you a little bit.
Yeah, as we see Clay there, he pulls that shot a little bit to the right, and Yuli as well misses a gap. It's a different game off tour now. You don't really have that full season of throwing your mid-ranges in the woods, throwing your putters through the gaps, throwing your fairway drivers. As we see Nathan Johnson thread some beautiful needlework with his sidearm there in the woods. So to come off tour and step into the woods and have to throw those mid-ranges and the touch shots again, it's a little bit of adjustment period, which these guys have had at this point. They've been off tour for more than a couple months. Yuli's finally able to make some good progress. He's up there for, looks like maybe a par.
40-footer, 45, I think. Yeah, something
like
that.
He's lying 2 or 3. He's lying 3 at this point.
What is Alex seeing here? Oh my goodness, did that just go through everything?
Incredible shot from Alex. Thinking outside of the box, and this is what separates some of the top local pros from everybody else. They can think out of the box and find a route that is...
Oh my goodness.
He's aiming 100 feet away on a less than 200-foot shot, and he got it all the way back to the basket.
Impressive there. If
Very
you want
impressive.
affordable disc golf lessons, go hit up Alex Ziros.
Nathan's got a long birdie look, and he's content with laying it up.
Ulibarri just a little off there, so you're right. Because he misses that now, he's bogeying his first hole of the day.
I think it's a guarantee at this point as that putt does not connect for him. Clay Edwards as well is going to take an extra number there for missing a edge of circle putt.
They made this hole look really hard. Meanwhile, the rest of the field kind of just parred out. So surprising that we see a couple bogeys and a couple pars rather than any birdies and a couple pars.
Yeah.
So it shows you how tough this hole is.
Sick. I didn't even see that part.
What do you think of the course so far? Now that you've seen 8 holes.
I think, you know, at any point you can mess up a shot and take a bogey, it looks like, on this course. And so it really is about, you know, positioning and making sure you're hitting these gaps off the tee and getting down there a little ways. And that's kind of the key for me to play in any woods course bogey free, is making sure you're hitting those initial gaps and biting off as much as you can chew. And then managing it well after that.
And I think Nathan just kind of showed you how to do that with this annex shot. Beautiful.
Executing plan A, which is penetrating that initial gap. Landing somewhere you can manage the rest of the way. Clay Edwards tries to follow suit. And unfortunately, his drifts into a tree on his way to good position. He should still be all right, though. Paul Ulibarri goes to line up righty hyzer, and unfortunately, he misses it right down the middle and squares
It's going to be a tough save.
just about first available. So, yeah, he's still got 250 maybe into the basket here. He's going with a patent pending right hand backhand flex shot. Is that his vulture that he's been throwing? Beautiful shot.
That might have been his Raptor, honestly.
His back's against the wall at this point. He's looking at taking back-to-back
What a
bogeys. If
flex
he doesn't
slide.
get this thing up there,
Oh my gosh.
and he knows he peered it
That
right
is
out of his
uphill,
hand.
too. That is a lot of power.
Absolutely.
That's dad power strength, I think.
He definitely
Shout
has
out
dad
to
power
him.
now.
Congratulations.
Yep, absolutely. Congratulations to Paul. He definitely gets to wear that hat now. And a beautiful approach from Alex there with the sidearm. I'm not sure what his approach disc of choice is.
He likes to judge a lot, and then he throws like the Firebird a lot.
Okay.
And the zone.
Beautiful
So,
putt from Nathan Johnson.
Yeah, let's go. He's turning it on, I feel like. He's got like
He
3 in
had
a
the-
row or something. Yeah.
He had that good momentum shot, and he's rolling with it now.
That's one of his longest putts on GMT. We like to see that.
Oh, yeah. Getting some love from Clay and Yuli.
We love the
Give him
emotion,
props.
mate. Yep. This is a tough save for Paul. I can't believe he got that far up with that flex shot. Let's go.
Oh,
What
yeah.
a par.
That'll get you feeling good again about yourself, you know.
Oh my goodness.
You make a save like that, you applied the tourniquet.
He hit first available.
Oh yeah. He had massive internal bleeding until he threw that second shot where he had a
He
putt.
was
and then-
hurting. He was hurt.
That was when he applied the tourniquet, and then he cinched it down with that
Yeah,
putt.
he said-
Stopped the bleeding.
He said, honey, this ain't happening.
He's back in the game. He's looking really good. You know, everybody's
His putt's looking great still after the time off and everything. And he's looking amazing out there. Hole 10. This is a straight, very straight shot, 303 feet. Kind of, you can take a flex shot, but you can also just pipe one down the middle, like I think Nathan is doing here with his rock again. Wow.
absolutely straight shot with Nathan, and he gives it a little flair with that leg kick to let everybody know that he just pured it.
Hey man, that
And he's in the game. He's looking like one of the guys to win this tournament right now.
he really is. Body English is part of the game, and Nate Johnson is no stranger to Charlotte tournaments. Like we were saying, he's won the Charlotte Classic. He's been playing the Clash. He's been playing all the big tournaments in the Pro Tour now. Go check out his
Absolutely.
socials. Very fun guy to watch, and especially his journey in the Pro Tour.
Here we go. Yuli is looking like he threw it a bit inside on that hyzer line. You got to really throw it as straight, and he hits a tree. That's tough on a really technical par 3 to get kicked into the woods like these guys did. They're now trying to scramble. We watched Alex kick a tree, and he's got like a 80-footer now to try and save his par, while these other guys are going to chip up there for some drop in.
Yeah, Ziros is getting up and down too. But unfortunately, he's going to be taking a bogey after not being able to get up and down from that approach earlier. Oh, okay, Nathan. Is that another birdie?
The ball's in Nathan's court at this
Wow.
point. I mean,
Keeping up with Paul Ulibarri. Look at this.
oh, he's marching Yuli around the course right now. He's showing him how to play the game. I think the momentum is in his hands. If he can continue to hold that tee and make putts.
See if he makes it on the lead card. We have coverage coming out soon. Make sure to
Okay.
stay tuned. Again, we only have 2 more holes left, folks. This is bonus preview content coming up for the lead card. And, oh, Nathan, you can't be doing that after that great stretch.
As the pressure builds and builds, it just makes it that much tougher to focus on the task at hand as we see
Clay loves that one.
Nathan making the worst mistake he could on the hole. He pulled the shot. He pulled it on a hyzer shot where you need to finish way left, it looks like, as Clay's doing here perfectly on a righty backhand. Nathan pulls it in first available, kicks into the woods. Yuli with the answer.
Oh my gosh, he's going
Throwing-
forehand roller on a 550-foot woods hole?
2-finger roller. He wanted to make sure he got
Oh
past
my
Nathan
gosh.
Johnson. And he says, I'll take the stroke.
Let's go.
Thank you very much.
I love it. I freaking love it. This is why we love disc golf. How about this shot by Alex Ziros? Best spot I've ever seen on this hole.
He went as big as humanly possible, throwing it through the branches above where they limbed the course. He said, I'm taking my chances.
Amazing.
I want to throw it in for an eagle.
Insanely amazing.
Great scramble attempt from Nathan Johnson, and it looked like it was going to work out for him until it caught a late tree and kicked him into Narnia. He's now having to scramble with a roller.
gosh.
Slides. He should be taking an easy bogey now and minimizing the damage with that shot.
So this was the easiest hole of the day for these guys.
That's incredible. I mean, I don't know how that is the case, but we see Yuli go scramble with a couple of rollers. And he's got an incredibly close look. I think he's inside 40 feet.
If he's able to pull a birdie on this hole with the scramble, like forehand play, I will stop disc golf. Oh my gosh, I will stop disc golf anyways. That was so
Ziros,
close.
who has been putting the pressure on these baskets all around
He really
from outside
has.
80 feet, squares it up with the turnover sidearm.
He loves the camera, man. He loves
It's
it.
incredible. And shout out to Clay Edwards for throwing 2 beautiful shots on this hole. That second shot was not easy. He threaded it through
Right.
what looked like a 4-foot gap from where he was standing. Played a flippy disc on a hyzer line to open the gap up by a couple feet from where his angle was.
Oh my gosh, I guess I have to stop disc golf because did he just get a birdie playing roller?
Yeah. And
What?
he's in the circle with 2 rollers.
Oh my gosh,
He went about 285 and then 225.
I'm speechless. I forgot that he did that. Honestly,
It looked like he was playing miniature golf.
when
He turned Angry Beaver into Friendly Beaver with those 2-finger rollers out here on the...
that is some incredible disc golf right there. And this is gonna be the last hole. We're gonna get a catch cam angle on the best hole on the course, I think, because it's a real 2-shot hole. It's an island hole. So they're gonna first pitch up to the bottom of this hillside, and then they're gonna shoot across 2 canals that are OB to get onto an island.
Wow. So that's a theme here in Charlotte, it seems to be, of having these island holes in the woods that play over these creeks that you'll just have a natural draw. And are there names for the creeks and the points out here?
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not sure about the creeks, but like Dry Creek has a the creek name in there. So let's see. So far, so Ulibarri looks like he's in a perfect spot. Meanwhile, Alex Ziros gets a little nick to the left. Look at this shot by Nathan Johnson. It's still spinning. What a cool shot.
I think if you're trying to work multiple angles on a hole like this, coming into a tree line, you're gonna get crazy kicks unless you can throw a disc and keep it on one angle, and then you're just gonna get kicked down to the ground. Your kicks aren't gonna get as crazy. And I think that's what we saw from Nathan Johnson here. He had a nice hyzer angle on his disc coming into the trees, and it kicked him down into the fairway.
It was honestly a really good play. Now look at Yuli. He's in the perfect spot for this 2-shot hole. And he's going to be safe because that side of the island is safe. And it's a tricky upshot.
Yeah, you want to get on the island to give yourself a chance at birdie, it looks like. And if you catch a tree like we saw Nathan Johnson, I believe, catch a tree and kick into the
That was
OB.
Ziros, unfortunately. Oh my gosh, did that just...
Off the
Coverage.
nubs for Clay Edwards. He says, I want some of that.
You're not the only one, Ziros.
And we've seen all different angles, too, hit the basket. It's not just chipping a hyzer. These guys are throwing sidearm and backhand all over the basket. Different angles. Incredible imagination.
Unfortunately, Nathan goes OB there. Couldn't get it above that inland. So he's going to have a bogey putt from the backside of the OB.
Yeah, and we saw Yuli barely get on the island there, and he chips it up for a par. As Nathan
Let's go,
Johnson
Nathan.
has to make an incredible edge of circle putt
We
from the
love
OB
seeing that.
line again.
Yep, not messing around. He's here to play, folks. He
Is that
wants
to
that.
save a bogey?
Yeah, he wants that $1,000, man. Maybe it was for par, but either way, amazing play.
It was unfortunate to see him drop a few strokes there in the last 3 holes, but he played really good. His game's looking good, especially considering it is raining out here. This can be a pretty typical round out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Even was playing around 990 rated golf, so it's a very tough
Throughout the
track.
year.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
yeah, absolutely. And that's it, folks. We apologize that we don't have more coverage from the first round. We had to do some TD responsibilities. However, we hope you really enjoyed this coverage, and we have full round coverage for round 2 lead card. Matt, what did you think?
I loved it. I love the wider shots that you seem to portray in your film, and you're not zoomed in so much on the players that you don't get a sense of what the course looks like, what the atmosphere is out there. So I appreciate the wider shots that I got to watch here today.
Awesome, man. And we really hope you enjoyed the feature card here with GMT. This was a treat to be able to finally get Ulibarri on the channel. Got Clay Edwards back. Nate Johnson is a Charlotte stud. I mean, this was just incredible, really fun stuff. And thanks for being here, Matt. And we hope to see you on the channel a little more.
Great to watch these 4 competitors duke it out. They are all great guys, and thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you guys more on the Greatest Media channel.
And you'll be back here for sure. And probably sooner than people know. All right. Thanks for staying tuned, everyone.